Strobe. Clear! Diane, can you hear me, Diane? Okay, so headsets are on, throttle's closed, mixture's going full rich. Priming for 3 seconds. 1001, 1002, 1003. We did hear it, and then this stays in both. Mixture comes full out. Okay, left hand from the throttle from now on. Throttle's closed, and it'll be start based off of memory once again as normal. And I'm going to fire until it rooms, and then smoothly go full rich on mixture. All right, so area's clear.
Clear left.
Out all around. Throttle's confirmed closed. Mixture is full off, and then this is the configuration you want to be in, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Starting the engine. Got it. Unbelievable.
Well done.
That felt terrible. I was like, I can't tell if it started or not right now. So within 5 seconds, we have the blades, and we had over 25 PSI right off the bat. Oh, yep. Alternator, clutch, time. Out of sequence. Whoopsie.
Whoopsie daisy.
So funny how it just that one slight little difference of putting the mixture in, and all of a sudden now you can't remember anything. That's why you get paid the big bucks, man.
Well, you'll notice I didn't do anything except notice what you didn't do, so
Yeah.
that's why.
Checking. That's crew resource management at its finest, right?
Yeah. Management being the word.
Yeah.
Sitting back and watching waiting for you to do something wrong.
That's life of an instructor, right?
Yep.
Okay, looking for a sweet spot here. I feel like it should be back there a little bit now. No, it's forward into the wind, maybe.
They're all different.
Yeah,
And sometimes you're just going to get this wobble,
Yeah.
44 wobble.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so starter was less than 7 seconds. The mixture's full rich. The guard is installed. Starter light went out. I did not even check that. Engine RPM 50 to 60, waiting on the clutch. Alternators confirmed engaged, clutch confirmed engaged. I have 2 timers going. Blades were spinning. We had oil pressure, radio GPS, and transponder. Transponder's already on. Get this thing started. Squelching. Just listen to ATIS.
3, 0, 0, and 3, 6, 0. Visibility, 9er.
Clutch lights out.
Sky condition,
Breaker.
clear, below 12,000. Temperature, 2, 8 Celsius. Dew point, 4 Celsius. Altimeter, 2, 9er, 8 inches of mercury. Remarks, density altitude, 5, 8, 0, 0.
Notice to airmen. Runway 16 is right-hand traffic for fixed-wing aircraft. Runway 34 is left-hand traffic for fixed-wing aircraft. Runway 16 is the calm wind runway. Monitor and use Unicom frequency 123.0.
Band Municipal Airport. Automated weather observation 2128 Zulu. Wind 350 at 8 knots. Peak gusts 13 knots. Visibility 9er. Sky condition clear below 12,000. Temperature 2 8 Celsius. Dew point 3 Celsius. Altimeter 2 9er 8 inches of mercury. Remarks density altitude 5 8 0 0.
Okay, good with ATIS.
Notice to airmen.
Yeah.
Sounds good. The gusting started.
Yeah, I'm going to do something real quick.
Okay.
Use
No side tone.
radio check is loud and clear.
Yeah, they asked me to do that.
What's that?
The maintenance guys asked for that.
Still no side tone?
No side tone, but they heard us.
But it transmits. Uh-oh. Someone's hot micing. Anywho.
Awful.
Last call, completely unreadable.
So half left, half up, no flags, and that takes care of that check, correct?
Yeah, and just verify. What is that saying? That's saying
yeah.
about
Headings.
319?
318, 319, which 318, yeah. Cool, and then you'd marry that up with this guy as well.
Yeah,
well,
you
no,
want to
actually,
look as close as possible. The HSI to the...
yeah, it's the course deviation bar, not the actual heading.
yeah, so
is what I was.
that's your OBS?
Yeah, OBS rather.
Omni-bearing selector, because we're selecting what radial, right?
Yep.
And so that's different from your compass card, which is essentially your DG, your directional gyro
Right.
compass. It's just, they took a VOR indicator and a DG,
Put them together.
and you get an HSI. And so what you do is, because it's on slave, you flip it to free, and you make sure that you can change it manually,
Okay.
clockwise or counterclockwise. And then when you're done,
Put it back
Put it back on slave. and you want them to be verified.
And that's what we typically do during the full gauge check. This one is just check, good.
Yep, exactly
Okay,
right.
So we'll get that going. Let's see where we're at. Unusual noise.
Sounds good.
Sounds so good. Radio GPS frequencies, route, and weather. And altimeter, so our frequencies are already good. Our route, we'll just get direct to Bend for now, and then we'll do, oh, that's right. Enter. At page 2, good with 3.5, so we will range out to 5 or 10, what do you prefer?
Personally prefer 10,
10, okay.
but what you're going to want is far enough out you can see the next waypoint.
Gotcha.
Dock 7 Romeo, Lima's turning left cross 134, Bend
Collectors
traffic.
off. Get rid of that message real quick, 'cause I hate that.
Bend traffic, 63 Papa's turning left base, number 2, landing 34 Bend.
Alright, so is this when you do the gauge check, or would you do all the other stuff first, mag checking?
Depends on where we're at. We're in a place we can do the mag check, so I would do that. And
Okay.
then when you're done with your gauge check, you can just go up.
Okay, sounds good. So, engine gauge is in the green, mag drop from 75, so rolling up to 75. Okay, positive control of the key, be doing,
Oh, it stopped.
Bend traffic, Dock 7 Romeo.
We'll talk about, I want to show you what that just did, and I'll show you why.
okay. So, rolling back to 75. Okay, mag drop left to check right now. 1001, 1002, about 4%. Good check, maybe 3, 4. I see it. It's the mags, right?
It's called roughness.
Oh.
VOR roughness has to do with the fact that we're at a certain RPM that this gauge does not like, and so it's going to do that to you.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Bravo 4.
We do right check left, 1001, 1002, about 5%. Sprag clutch from 75, and yeah, we'll watch it go away, right? So, fingernails up, rolling throttle off now. Yeah, I can see it's hard to get that split from 75.
Yeah, typically it's going to be 79, 80.
Drop it, yep.
Yep.
I did see a positive split, yep, and it's down and it's happy. Ah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so later on we'll talk about VOR roughness and what that means.
Okay, absolutely.
And now you've seen it.
All right, looks like 58, pretty good. So I'll go back 60 to 70. And limit map chart, we've already done that. So we are 22.0 and 24.8. So 22 and 24.8 is basically 25. So 22 and 25, right below 25. Okay, landing nav, governor area door. So right now I guess it'd be a good time to do the gauge check.
Okay.
Right before we turn the landing light on and tell everybody we're going somewhere. So, mag compass up on the top, free heading, and you said just kind of rotate it like that?
Yep, just make sure it swivels.
Alright. Marker beacons, test high and low. There's the high. Oh, they go out.
Bend traffic, Skyhawk 7.
They only come on when you're going over a marker.
Oh, yeah, so this is turning it on, and it tests them, but then it's waiting.
It's exactly right.
Gotcha. Okay, warning lights. The Christmas tree here, all out. Tachometer's married, plus or minus 1. Oh, it's 1% over where I'm supposed to be. But yeah, they are married.
Traffic 63 Papa is clear of the active.
Airspeed indicator is indicating nothing with good glass. Attitude, caged wing level, no flag, so I'll cage it now. It maintains it, so it's spun up, and we have no flags.
Final 3-4, been traffic, touch and go.
Altimeter plus or minus 75 feet of field elevation, and glass intact. We're about 20 feet high, so that's good. Manifold pressure gauge intact, gauge is good. Turn coordinator is wings level, ball fluid, no flag. I concur, and the ball is married up with this ball, so I'm happy with that. HSI, course, slave accuracy, flags. So that was what we just talked about.
Michael holding short of 3-4.
And heading flag. Okay, I saw that when you put it into free mode and you moved it. I saw the heading flag come up, so that's good. And I'll just make sure that this guy moves. Make sure that guy moves. Do you have a preference on where that goes?
Just for now, that's the radio we're going to select
Gotcha.
to fly inbound in order to do our VOR check.
Okay, I didn't know you did that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have touched it. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I did that yesterday, and then they didn't change it. So
Okay.
I was like, oh, it's there still.
Cool. And I've always used the in aircraft that have had HSIs. This is where the wind's coming from. This is the runway we're on until we get in the instruments. So if I ever do touch that thing, it's just because of a negative transfer.
No, and that's not a negative transfer. That's totally fine.
Well, it's better if we set things up if we need it on the ground here. But I was so bad that, like, if I were to do instruments, I would have to reset it while we're flying because I put the wind and the runway in there. It was silly. Okay, let's see here. VSI, 0 or note. We're at about 20 feet per minute high, but if I just sit up straight, it's almost perfect.
We'll just remember that.
Yep. Gauge cluster in the green. Everything is in the green. Clock fuel timer started. I've got this one and this one started. Glass intact, just for why not. Let's see here. Clock and fuel timer good. Lights. That would be the cue to do landing light on. Navigation light on. Audio panels set as required. Comm radios set as required. Nav radios, we've got, I'm assuming that's Deschutes 117.6.
Yep.
Okay, sorry I'm cheating on this one, but otherwise I'd look it up.
Nope, you're fine. We haven't actually done anything that requires you to know that yet.
Yep.
So I won't expect you to know it.
Gotcha. GPS, startup check, range check, already went through that. FPL and proc, nearest, direct, DP, IAP, nav setup. So we've got it set up for what we need, right?
You did the range check already?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking about the accuracy at the beginning. So no, I did not do that one. And that one is in the menu.
Yes. Oh, no, here.
Oh, I gotta go back out of here.
Yeah, so you're going to turn this to this page, and then it's the second. So,
Box page, that's right.
So, big knob over until you get utility,
Okay.
and then it's on the third page. Or
Gotcha.
second page, sorry, second page.
There it is. Okay, and then click this guy, rain prediction. Compute RAM. Oh, did I do something wrong?
That's not quite right.
Oh,
No.
I think I gotta move down here, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's where I was. Whoops.
Just push on it. Now big knob. There you go.
Bend traffic, Skyhawk 7 Romeo Lima, turning left down 134, bend traffic.
Okay. So GPS is checked. That's everything with the GPS, right?
Yeah.
Transponder's on in altitude mode. OAT is functional and accuracy. Let's see here.
That's within a degree.
Yeah. HSI free and slave. We already did that. But you go free plus or minus 5. Look for a passenger. Jesus, this thing's tested. And then at this point, it would be where to get the craft and call for clearance, right?
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
And I think it even says on the bottom here, craft clearance, nav map setup.
Yep.
And then these are your hover checks, your pre-takeoff, your hit check. So heading, instruments, transponder, void time. So.
Gotcha. Hover checks definitely. That's pretty natural.
Yeah, you're just looking at these three instruments.
Yep. And is that that shouldn't be there, right?
Nope. But every single one of them does that.
Okay, so do you just cage it one more time before we get going, or?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah, or you can understand that it's just going to be at the
Oh, that's where they always go to.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Our HSIs are old and they're like $30,000 to replace or something like that. So
Makes sense.
we don't get a lot of new ones.
Not
So
much.
we'll cage it and then we'll just watch for it.
Cool.
We pick up.
wide crosswind, runway 34.
A left wide crosswind. So back to here. Landing, governor area doors, which my door on this side is latched. And then we'll roll it on, do the hydraulics check, lower order RPM check, and we will get on our way. So let me get this set up for flight.
Vent traffic, Skog 7 Romeo Lima, turning left base, 34 vent traffic.
Turning wide left base right. Okay, collective friction's off.
Vent traffic, Skog 73 Michael, turning left downwind, runway 3.
Okay, frictions are off. We have all our lights, CTAF, and altitude mode. Area is clear. Okay, rolling up to 80. Just smoothly letting the governor take it and then resisting it. I'd assume these things are less prone to overspeed on the roll-up because of the inertia, or?
Romeo Lima, turning final 34 vent traffic.
Probably, yeah.
It seems like everything's
probably right.
slower, but still, that's good practice. Okay, there's the clutch light, so we'll start off with the hydraulics check. So hydraulics are coming off, identified and off. Making an X, looking for corresponding weight bend.
Full stop vent traffic.
Ooh, it seems like it's easier to move back right than anything else. It just wants to go back right. Okay, all pressures released, hydraulic switches identified, on. Nice and smooth. Low rotor RPM check, rolling down to the bottom, and then raising quarter to a half an inch, continuing to roll down 97, horn and light. Get horn and light, it goes away when I drop the collective, slowly allowing the governor to regain. Okay, before takeoff, warning lights are all out. RPMs are buried top of the green. Gauges all in the green. We have enough fuel for, God, all kinds of stuff. We have all our lights, camera action, carb heat's definitely not a factor. And looks like we're taking off
3-4, Michael, turning left base, runway 34, number 2, then.
3-4, sounds like. Cool. Alright, we'll pick up, we'll scoot on out to Alpha 2. Then traffic helicopter 219, lean back, repositioning from leading edge to Alpha Taxi main bend. Alright, picking up to a hover.
Vent traffic, Skog 753 Michael, turning final, runway 34, number 2, then. And we'll get a full stop.
Oh, hamburgers.
Hamburgers?
Or fries. Something associated with that kind of a meal.
Alright, hover power check. Power's good. Flight control, CG, flight instruments. I got the attitude indicator and the HSI are looking good. And the turn coordinators are wobbling around like normal. Coming forward. That was the hit check is what you do at the hover, right?
Heading, instrument, transponder, and void time.
Oh, that's before takeoff.
That is, yeah.
And what was...
Vent traffic, Skog 7 Romeo Lima, clear runway 34 vent
We
traffic.
used to call it the rodeo, but so as you move around, you're watching the wings to turn,
Yeah.
you're watching the compass to turn, and you're watching the HSI to turn.
Gotcha.
And if you give a little forward and aft, just really gentle.
Yep, you can watch it.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's why I kind of take a peek at that when we climbed up, and just because it seems like it always wants to move when we're coming up to a hover, so.
Yep.
All right, we'll go over to Alpha 2. We'll take off 3-4 for right crosswind departure.
Okay.
Secondary traffic number 203 Lima Echo, 2.5 to northeast over from Warm Junction 4000 feet. Gonna be inbound for a right downwind for 3-4, but.
Okay, we'll be looking for him.
I have him.
All right, turning into a tailwind, so we'll be nice and careful with the pedals here.
Good.
Before takeoff, still complete.
Thing's got a gigantic stabilizer on it, so it's a lot more sensitive to that wind.
Yeah. Do you think that the tail rotor is more powerful than on the 22, though?
I think proportionally, no, I don't think it's that much stronger.
Yeah. Okay, we've come to a hover here. Nobody in the run-up areas on either side, tail right, nose left. I got nobody on base. You got him.
This tiny little black speck at your 11 o'clock,
All right.
right over the top of that hangar.
Bring it back to us about a mile and a half. 45 over Bellevue Highway. Gonna be entering a right downwind for 3-4, but.
And traffic helicopter 219, layback, taking off runway 34 from Alpha 2. Again, we'll just no pause out here. We'll just kind of slowly bring it around.
Okay, let's not get in the habit of doing that, but I'm fine with it.
Okay. I'd like to see if we can do it nice and smoothly, but basically rather than coming out, stopping, pedal turning, and going.
That's what you want to do on your check ride.
Okay, gotcha. And in this case, it's like I am legitimately terrified sitting on this runway. I hate it.
I know.
I absolutely hate it, so.
I understand.
Okay, got them in sight. Gently on the go. Gentle start climbing. I don't know why, but this thing just feels like it wants to get to 60 and climb for me. And every time yesterday I looked at it, I was like, it's still at 60.
Oh yeah.
What is going on here?
They just like to fly. It's like a racehorse, you know. You're having to hold it back.
Yeah. I keep remembering what you were saying. It's like, and it even sounds like a helicopter.
It just has a deeper thud to it than like a 22.
Okay, turning right, area's clear. And keep climbing to 6,000.
Yeah, we'll get 6,000, maybe 65. We'll see how it looks out here.
Okay. Then traffic helicopter 219 Lima Echoes, turning right crosswind, climbing up to 6,000 and be departing out to the northeast. Okay, after takeoff, everything looks good.
Helicopter 203 Lima Echoes, short final for Alpha Taxiway parallel 34, landing direct bend sign. Bend.
And we'll just kind of, once we get around Old Cimarron here, we'll kind of head towards the south of the butte.
Yep.
I'm pulling some more power so we're not loafing around down here. Get up 6K. We can get me under the hood and I can roll this thing.
We're not going to do that.
Yeah, I hope not. When in doubt, just don't move the controls.
This is your biggest indicator of a standard rate turn.
Right.
Everything in instruments is done standard rate until the final approach fix, then it's half standard rate.
Gotcha.
Right? So every turn you make is just going to be standard rate turn.
And
which means that wing goes to that,
okay.
ball centered.
Gotcha.
That's a coordinated standard rate turn.
Gotcha. But when I do turn, that is still not, that's not the only instrument I'm looking at. I'm obviously, you know, taking a glance at this, taking a glance at this.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The thing that's going to keep you flying the straightest is if you keep that orange arrow married up with that white arrow.
Ah, that's a good point. And in trim?
In
and
trim.
then there's nothing causing us to turn?
Yep.
Yeah, I never even thought about that. Maybe that's why I tend to drift on my headings, at least when I'm flying a simulator. Because I'm using this, because I hate that. So I'm using this. Yeah, I hate the turn coordinator because it just sits there and wobbles around, you know.
Yeah, you'll develop a more steady flight. You'll learn the helicopter is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It'll become more stable and that'll happen less.
Gotcha. Then traffic helicopter 219 Lima Echo, 2.5 to the northeast, 5,500 climbing to 6,000 eastbound. Bend. Freaking 6,000 feet, Jesus Lord, man. We are up there. I hate flying high in helicopters.
Still have 2,000 more feet to go to get to the top of the arc.
To the top of the DME arc?
Yeah, it's 7.9.
Jeebus.
7.9 in some spots, 7.1 in others. This is why in the wintertime you'll never fly the NBA on the north.
Alpha Lima 7 miles to the south, straight in 35.
Oh, we're picking up stuff up there? Up at the Dallas?
Oh no, he's coming in to bend.
To 3.5?
Oh, did he say 3.5?
Yeah.
He said 3.4. He just came back on and corrected himself.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Yeah, so you said what about the winter time?
That's why you'll never make it. The clouds hang out like right at the top of Powell Butte.
Gotcha.
But it's like,
3 Alpha Lima, we're
just not going to happen.
straight in. We'll cross over the field for left traffic 3-4.
Alright, I'm just going to loaf down here to what speed you want me to get at?
we can do 90 if she'll do it.
Okay.
Which she'll do it.
Alright, we'll get it accelerated. Freaking 90 at this high altitude. Like, my God, we're an airline. A very crappy airline, but...
Yeah. When you put your hood on, you won't even notice.
Yeah, I guess that's
There's
true.
no reference. You're just looking at numbers and gauges.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's up here going, ugh.
Hope you're not scared of height.
Yeah.
Would you mind if we do 80?
Nope.
Just because it seems like everything smooths down just a little bit more at 80.
Yeah, I'm good with 80.
Just to start off.
Yeah.
Gonna make one last call on bend. Bend traffic, helicopter 219, Lima Echo, 5.5 to the northeast, 6,000 eastbound, final car. Final call on bend.
Bend traffic 853 off limits over the head field 5,500 entering left traffic for report.
All right, you want me to give it a shot?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what happens. This is the reason I like this. Done.
Okay.
Okay, looking for 80 knots and 6,000 feet.
Yep.
And a heading of roughly 055, 050, something like that.
Yeah, let's keep 060. It's fine.
Okay. So I'm going to come slightly right.
Bend traffic, helicopter 183, Lima Echo is 4.5 miles to the northeast and down over Palpatine Highway, 4,000 bend.
Oh yeah, got myself there.
Okay.
So I'm climbing and I'm slowing down, so I'm going to gently go forward cycling. I didn't take a good note of where that thing was at, so I screwed myself.
That's all right.
All I remember is they're 5 degree nose high. I remember I was like, oh, I'll just set it there. That's all it needs.
Yep. So the bad thing about these HSIs is you're going to learn to fly without even looking at that gauge
Yep.
because it's inaccurate.
Yep.
So your primary indicators are going to be this, and that.
Yep. The only reason I really look at it is it seems to help get rid of spatial disorientation pretty well.
Absolutely it does. It tells you which way's up.
Yep.
The horizontal part's not messed up. It's the vertical part
Yeah.
that's messed up.
Yep. So about 5 knots fast, slight descent. So I'll correct both at the same time. That was too much. But I had a little bit.
Can you hear them okay?
They're pretty quiet.
Bend traffic Quebec 331, Foxtrot.
How's that?
Whatever.
Good.
Left crosswind 34.
Okay, so I've drifted right on my heading, so turning left slowly. Haven't even looked at the ball once, so I'm going to take a gander at the ball. The ball's centered. Ooh, just sunk it.
Hey.
It's crazy. Okay,
So-
so I'm a little low, fixing that.
In instruments, you step on the ball.
Right. Or be like, well, I just prefer the trim straight, so I like look up and I'm instantly much better now. Okay, so I'm a little fast.
Epic 181 Lima Tango, 3 miles from the.
Okay, so what's going to happen?
Straight in.
Your CDI is going to center.
Traffic.
Your
Okay.
CDI is that line.
Right.
When it's centered with the OBS,
Right.
we're going to fly that outbound.
2.8 miles from the threshold from Lima Tango. 331 Foxtrot Tango, coming through.
Thank you.
I'll do a quick 360, 1 Lima Tango.
I'm a little high, I'm correcting.
Limit clear the active section, sir.
I can tell you right now I'm not comprehending about anything on the radio, so I am definitely task saturated, just so you're aware.
Okay. They're talking about stuff back at Bend.
Okay, gotcha. So what is your scan procedure?
Me,
Yeah,
I'm more of the like this style.
Gotcha.
Right down.
Or
Bravo, Bravo 34.
here, 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 here,
Yeah.
here. I like to verify
We're doing a
what
360,
information
about
I'm
3
getting from
miles
every
off the
instrument.
34.
Gotcha.
You'll feel it here, like you said earlier. I'm slowing down and I'm climbing. Those two things indicate what?
That you are nose high.
Exactly right.
1 Lima Tango coming around. Long line.
when you're under the hood.
I don't really like turbulence anytime, but especially when you're under the hood.
Yeah. And you're right. I don't care about my little peripheral vision around the panel. I can't use it at all. It's worthless.
Yeah.
Bravo, parallel 34.
Okay, very gently correcting
And we
that.
have the airplane on final inside. One thing, the Tango short final 34 best.
Climbing and speeding up, so I'm a lower collective, start slowing back. There's your 90 knots you asked for.
Hey, it's easy, huh?
Yeah. Easy. It does feel like it's falling apart, though. So I can definitely tell I am doing too many collective manipulations. Coming slightly left.
Traffic vector 183, Lima Echo, final taxi Bravo, parallel 34, will be landing Bravo 5.
Alright, so we're going to keep flying. Yeah, go ahead and fly your actual heading of 095 for now.
095, just the heading, not the course line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Fly 095. The reason we're doing this, again, remember, is we're doing a VOR check.
Right.
So we're using a landmark,
Gotcha.
which is out off our right, which is going to maybe 095, 010 radial, or sorry, 100 radial.
Gotcha.
Or heading. Gosh. Heading.
We're heading to that item.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm a little slow and a little low, correcting both.
Okay.
Epic 1 Lima Echo, clear active for Apex.
I'll try
Epic.
19, 18, 19 inches, see what that works out to.
Yeah.
I remember that's a good trick, right, is to be able to set a power and just almost forget about it, but you know that 18 inches is the ballpark.
Yeah.
And then from there you adjust rather than I have no idea what power setting this needs, you know, so.
Yep. Let's come right to 105.
Okay, can I use the heading bug?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. 105, turning right. Do a little half standard rate since it's kind of close.
Yep.
Okay, there it is, rolling out. Okay, about 19 and a half inches, maybe 20. We'll see if that gets us back up. But my airspeed was slightly fast.
Traffic up to 183, Lima Echo is at a max bump to take off. Departure at 34 for right traffic. Descent.
Ooh, max performance. Whoop, whoop.
Your decided heading is better than what I told you to fly, so just keep flying this.
Okay,
It's
guys.
fine.
Sorry. You can tell my scan is constantly breaking down.
That's okay. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah. Like the turn coordinator, I freaking haven't looked at that since the turn, you know.
Yeah, that's okay.
So descending, slightly low, correcting.
All right, let's come right to heading 140.
140.
Right down, one taxi Bravo, parallel 34.
Okay, twist, turn, talk, turning right, heading 140, helicopter 219, Lima Echo. Totally didn't make that a standard or a non-standard rate turn or anything, I just kind of turned.
Well, that's okay. We're practicing.
Right.
Okay, now what's your nose telling you?
What's my nose telling me?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're climbing at 400
Climbing and slowing down,
slowing
yeah.
down, that's showing a climb.
Yep, you're right.
I'll use gauges. I won't use references to the aircraft's attitude because you have no idea what your nose is telling you.
Gotcha.
I get used to saying what's the nose telling you because that's primarily your indicator when you're flying VFRs. You watch the nose on the horizon. If the nose is up, you're climbing.
Yep, and I like that. That's very, very clear and quick and easy and relaxing. It's a very relaxing statement. What's your nose telling you?
Yeah.
Like,
Until you can't see the horizon, then it means nothing to you.
yep. But, you know, I have an instrument that can tell me what my nose is doing. I have 4 instruments that can tell me what my nose is doing.
Yeah.
So,
All right, let's turn left heading 030.
Next traffic, helicopter 183, Lima Echo's right base, turning final, taxiway Bravo, parallel 34.
gotcha. That's 030 and standard rate. My nose is telling me it's a little high. going in the turn. Trying to resist the urge to fix my altitude while I'm turning, which I don't want to do. I'd rather just fix it all one at a time. When do you roll out? About how many degrees prior? Like 5, 10, something like that.
Well, so in this case, what you would do is just roll out generally in the area and
Okay.
then fix it, because
We're not using a compass that has errors.
exactly right. You're using a compass card, which is a little different. Let's turn left now, heading 03 or 029.
290. Okay. Twist, turn, talk, turning left, 29, heading 290, helicopter 219, me back up.
Yeah, I'm not great at vectoring people, because like the amount of time it takes to get them to swing around isn't always what I want, you know what I mean?
Gotcha. Just use lazy ATC speak. Left 10, left 50, left
Yeah.
90, just turn left. I'll call your stop.
Yeah, I'll tell you when to stop.
Yeah.
It's like a precision approach.
Yeah, like a no
Radar.
DG,
Yeah,
no DG PAR.
yeah. Left turn, stop turn.
Yep. Could really go for some classical music right now. I think that would be just like
Yeah.
the perfect thing for flying in the instrument.
Okay, let's take up a heading of 270.
270, okay. Twist, turn, start, left 270, helicopter 219, me back out. I'm on.
Here in a second, we're going to go right back to 292.
Okay, I'm right on the verge of getting spatial
What's that?
I'm right on the verge of getting spatial disorientation right now.
Right
Yep,
there.
I'm trying.
Worst comes to worst, give me the controls.
Yep.
Put your hood up.
Okay. I'm fighting it. I'm getting leans is what it is. It's from the sun changing angles on me.
Yeah.
So
You're alright.
I'm getting the left leans.
Okay, let's take up a heading of 292.
292.
Or, let's just turn to 280.
Okay, 280. Descending, correcting. Man, that stuff gets out of control quick.
You're dealing with a little bit of turbulence.
Bravo, Bravo 34, man.
Out of trim, correcting. Sorry. Oh, you're moving that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about
Yep,
that.
you're doing fine.
Okay, so I'm just going to hold wings level.
Yep. This is perfect. Alright, so if we were flying over the spot on the airway, which is what we're doing, right? If we were flying the heading of 272 like we're supposed to, it's about 1 degree off.
Gotcha.
Which is an acceptable tolerance. You're allowed plus or minus 6 degrees.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's right.
And so that's how we know our VOR is in fact operational the way it needs to be.
Cool.
And we're good to go.
I've never done an in-flight VOR check in all my days in maintenance flights and whatnot. I've always done them on the ground. That's crazy.
Yep, this is pretty much the only way we have to do them now.
Yeah, because you don't have an on-airport spot at Bend, right? Because they
Yeah.
can't reach.
We used to have the little box, the Vox box.
Ah,
That's gone now.
gotcha.
So yeah. Good job, dude. How you doing?
Pretty good. The leans are subsiding.
Good. Good.
It's still there, but it's definitely subsiding.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of getting used to and understanding kind of what the gauges are telling you. That's part of it. Like you have an idea of what the gauges are telling you, but really being able to scan and read
Yeah.
and interpret, that's the word they use.
Yeah.
Interpret, that's the big one. All right, we've got about an hour. What do you want to do? That was the primary focus.
Definitely.
Was to get our DOR check-in so we can do, what do you want to do?
I'm definitely down for going to the Billy pad just to get an off-airport in this thing again. And then maybe if you want, I can take a break here. You can take it for a bit. I can relax and then go back under the hood again.
Yeah, let's see. How about, sure.
Whatever you think.
Then traffic
Hold on a
counting 356 by Foxtrot, taxiing from Prairie to run up area 34, event.
Where is it?
200 feet high, correcting. I'm just flying 270 right now.
You're fine. I set myself up for failure here.
Oh, so, or without the billy pad?
Oh no, I know where the billy pad is.
Oh, gotcha.
We'll find it.
Temperature 27, dew point 1, altimeter 2985, check density altitude. IFR arrivals, expect an RNAV approach. Runways 5 and 29 are in use. Ground delay San Francisco, call for release Seattle.
Then traffic going up to 1 inch of micro, taking off next with Bravo, Bravo 34, right
God
traffic.
dang it.
Revenue Tower information, Golf 2156 Zulu. Wind 350 at 11, gust 20. Visibility 10, smoke. No clouds below 2000. Temperature 27, dew point 1, altimeter 2985, check density altitude. IFR arrivals, expect an RNAV approach. Runways 5 and 29 are in use. Ground delay San Francisco, call for release Seattle. Advise on initial contact, you have Golf. Revenue Tower information, Golf 2156 Zulu. Wind 350 at 11, gust 20. Visibility 10, smoke. No
What do you say?
clouds below
Visibility is 10?
11 gust 20?
Oh, the visibility.
Oh, visibility is 10, yeah, I don't believe it.
Check density altitude. IFR arrivals, expect an RNAV approach. Runways 5 and 29 are in use. Ground delay San Francisco, call for release Seattle. Advise on initial contact, you have Golf.
Okay, my controls.
You have flight controls?
My controls.
Whew. Whoa, here we are.
Hello.
We're up in the freaking atmosphere.
Yeah, let's shoot an approach.
All right,
And let's talk about it.
definitely.
So, did you see me setting up the GPS at all, or were you just flying?
I figured you were setting it up for an approach, but I was really just sitting in the six pack, so I was drunk.
I'm gonna try and fly back out here to Auban.
And then you're gonna shoot the GPS.
RNAV Zulu GPS 29.
Traffic going up to 183, then like I was on a high right down.
RNAV Zulu 29 is what it's
Bravo,
called.
Bravo 34, event.
Cool. Yeah, I'd love to fly one and just kind of follow along and.
In traffic, do we have 181 Lima Tango on the ground?
I don't really care.
Okay, let's see here. There's old Roberts Field. Fleet. 29 Zulu GPS.
Can you hit the CDI button for me?
Yep, you got it. GPS.
Okay, so now we're looking for the GPS approach. Currently 1 mile out from Auban.
From Auban.
Oh, can you swing the big knob all the way to the right for me?
Swing what?
The big knob down the GPS on the right, all the way to the right for me?
This one?
To the nearest page? That's
Okay,
what I
got
want.
it. Nearest page.
Okay. We are 14.5. No, we're like perfectly out.
Fleet 3 on the ground, Studio City route.
Okay, so.
Skywest 4579, contact Seattle Center, good day.
Got it.
Have a good day, Skywest 4579.
So you're just going to come in straight into Auban as the initial approach fix, and then shoot it without no PT, obviously.
Yep.
Because you're going to be coming from the east.
Yeah. And we can just contact Redmond.
Okay, and just let them
Just to
know.
make it easy, yeah.
Because otherwise you'd be doing Seattle to Vector, yeah.
If you want, you can put in 128.15
And
down in the radio down there, and let's hop on with Seattle.
Okay. 12815 swapping.
Position checks up to 220, Skywest 4579.
Got 4579, fly heading 285.
Hey, 285, Skywest 4579.
southeast to Auban.
Sweet. And so we're 219, and we're currently about 18 miles southeast of Redmond.
Gotcha.
So this is the contact it's going to sound like.
Okay.
Seattle Center helicopter 219 Lima Echo, Snar 44, 18 miles southeast of Redmond, VFR request. He may not accept it because there's a ton of people on actual VFR or IFR flight plans.
Yeah.
Helicopter 219 Lima Echo, Roger, squawk 3505.
3505 for 219 Lima Echo.
3505.
Yep. And just for cherry on the cake, I like to hit the ident button.
Gotcha.
Horizon 2223, Roger.
And then let's go ahead and head back into the
Map.
plan view. Yep. All the way over to the left.
There we go.
Big knob all the way to the left. There we go.
Gotcha.
Now I know where I'm going.
Sweet.
So my inbound course.
Helicopter 219 Lima Echo, radar contact. Let's call it 15 miles southeast of Redmond Airport, altitude.
219 Lima Echo, position check 6,300.
Helicopter 219 Lima Echo, Roger, and say request.
Request VFR practice approach the RNAV Zulu 29 into Redmond, sir. 219 Lima Echo.
Helicopter 219 Lima Echo, Roger, VFR practice approach approved. No separation services will be provided. Maintain VFR and advise information golf at Redmond.
Roger, 219 Lima Echo, we have golf, sir.
219 Lima Echo, Roger, Redmond altimeter is 2985.
2985 for 219 Lima Echo.
Set.
Okay, so Auban inbound, so we
Helicopter
can...
219 Lima Echo, do you have time for a quick favor?
Roger, 219 Lima Echo, we do.
219 Lima Echo, could you go over to the Bend CTAF and see if an Epic 181 Lima Tango is over there? I'm looking for an IFR cancellation.
Roger, that was 181 Lima Echo.
181 Lima Tango is an Epic at Bend.
Roger, 181 Lima Tango, we'll listen, sir.
Going to do a comp 2? Or comp 1?
You can just put 123.0 back in.
Okay.
Is there 2183, descend at miles direction, maintain 9,000.
What was it? 1218 Lima Tango?
181 Lima Tango. Swapping you over.
Okay.
181 Lima Tango. Epic.
Yeah. And traffic helicopter 219 Lima Echo. Is there a 181 Lima Tango Epic on the field?
They're shut down. Maybe Unicom would know.
Probably. I think they're trying to get hold of them too. Okay, go ahead and flip us back over, and then yeah, we can.
Lima Tango airplane took off about 30 minutes ago.
They departed 30 minutes ago for 219 Lima Echo.
Correct. 65 Foxtrot.
Great, thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, back over to 2815.
President 2222, Seattle Center, radar contact 2 miles northeast of the Redmond Airport. Climb and maintain flight level 220.
Position checks up to flight level 220, Horizon 2222.
Horizon 2222, use caution Alpha, Horizon 2223 on frequency.
Horizon 2222, welcome.
Helicopter 219 Lima Echo, did you have any joy over there on Bend CTAF?
219 Lima Echo, sir, we got a hold of someone. They said that airplane departed approximately 30 minutes ago.
And you said departed, did you mean land?
No, sir, the information we were given was that they had actually departed the aircraft 30 minutes, or the airport 30 minutes ago. 219 Lima Echo.
Helicopter 219 Lima Echo, Roger, thanks for checking, appreciate it.
Roger, 219 Lima Echo.
So the story gets more confusing.
2255 request, 20 right for weather.
Alright, so flying
Is there 2255,
with
Roger,
the
communication rate
actual
of is approved when able to proceed direct to Barb and advise.
instrument,
Roger.
right?
Alright,
I'm on
2255.
GPS. This is a GPS approach. It tells us where we have an LPV approach, so if the winds are with us, my minimums are 33, 36, but I can't descend down past that until I've passed Colta, right? So right now I can come down to 6,300. I'm at 6,400.
Inside Albon, short of Colt.
Exactly right.
Colta.
Yep, and he's going to kick us off to Redmond here in a minute, is why we want 124.5 in there.
Yeah.
And so we're flying in. I'm trying to keep the CDI centered.
Right.
Right? I have the heading 288, which if you look up here, right above the 6,300, inbound says 288.
Yep.
That's my inbound heading. So I've got 288 in there, roughly, right? And so I'm just going to fly to keep the CDI centered there. Right? There's my 6,300. Don't want to go any lower, so I'm going to raise the collector just a little bit. Looking for 90 knots. It might be a little bumpy coming over the top of pilot view here. Pilot view here. You can see it. But I'm just looking to keep that CDI nice and centered, keep that heading going.
Now when you're running a GPS approach, if you change the OBS, the
needle stays.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. That's what I've always been curious about.
Yep. The needle stays. How far from Colton are we? 3 miles?
3.2, yeah.
Okay. South Center helicopter 209 Lima Echo over 3 from Colt, requesting a frequency change.
Purpose 209 Lima Echo, roger, contact Ribbon Tower.
Contact Ribbon Tower 209 Lima Echo, thank you, sir.
Okay, you're changed over, 124.5, and it's information golf.
Cool. Ribbon Tower helicopter 219 Lima Echo is 2.5 to the southeast from Colta, inbound on the RNAV Zulu 29. That was way too long.
Helicopter 209 Lima Echo, Ribbon Tower, Port Colta.
Port Colta 209 Lima Echo. Now we're just coming in. I'm descending like a cheater.
Is it a pretty steep?
I even lowered the collective. It's not really that steep. Really what you want to do is you want to be at 6,300 at Colton because that's when you're going to get your glide slope intercept.
Oh, okay. LPV means localizer performance.
Vertical guidance.
Vertical guidance. Okay, that's right.
Yep. So if I'm flying 90 knots, I want to descend at 500 feet per minute in order to keep the glide slope locked.
Right.
Right?
That's something I'm still need to do some work on.
So if you take the airspeed 90, divide it in half, 45, multiply that by 10, 450, that's your descent rate to keep your VSI, or not your VSI, keep your glide slope locked.
On a 3-degree glide slope?
Yep.
Good. That's the trick that I wish I would have known.
Now you know.
The more you know.
Yep. Ribbon Tower helicopter 219 Lima Echo's Colta inbound.
Helicopter 9 Lima Echo, report missed approach.
Port miss 219 Lima Echo.
Now
Alright.
the glide slope's coming in.
Yep. So I'm going to lower the collective a little bit, start that descent, keep my 90 knots. I'm looking to lock in 500 feet per minute descent rate.
Right. But you don't want to get there too quick or too late because then you're already starting off high or low.
Exactly.
Gotcha. knots for you seems like it's a lot easier than 90 knots for me. I was like, and now I'm looking here, it's like smooth as baby butt.
It's just getting comfortable, that's all, man.
Yeah, and under the hood, just every little shake, feeling it. Your senses become so freaking hyper aware, it's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm just looking to lock in that 500 feet per minute. I'm a little fast. I'm actually a lot fast here. So I'm going to have to slow us down, which means my descent rate's going to go away, so I got to lower that collective. This is a hotbed of activity. VFR traffic transition between, whatchamacallit, Ryanville and Bend.
Gotcha.
So you'll see my CDI is getting off a little bit, right? We're getting pushed left, which means to me the wind's a little bit out of the northwest. Northwest.
Gotcha, yeah, that's blowing us this way.
Yep, so I've got to get that correction angle back, so I'm just going to bring it right a little bit more.
And going a little higher on the rate of descent to get back to the, that's only for, what do they call it? Situational awareness or whatever. You can't use that, or can you?
What?
The LPV glide slope?
So, yes. So it's in its own special category, which happens to be approaches with vertical guidance. And it's
aptly named.
Aptly named.
Yeah.
What about? I was going to say something and I lost it.
Just whether or not this is for guidance or if it's something you can actually follow.
Yeah. So it is for guidance, but you can't follow it. So the PTS says you can use it instead of a precision approach. So rather than flying a precision approach radar approach, which you'll most likely not do ever,
Right.
Or an ILS, which is what you'll most likely do,
Right.
you can fly an LPV. For instance, all of last summer, the one previous to this one, the entire ILS system was out of commission.
Really?
Done. So people had to fly the LPVs. But it behaves the same way, so it's really not that weird.
Yeah.
It's a really good training tool, still really precise. You have to have have WAS to fly LPV.
Gotcha.
You can't fly it in just a range ship.
But if we were, you know, in a frickin' 430 or whatever, like or a Big Giant Bell or Big Giant Sikorsky or whatever, we can sit here and follow these, but we still would have to use our hard altitude limits, right? 6,300 at Colta and 3,360 prior to mist. That's just for guidance.
Well, so this is getting you from 6,300 to 3366,
Yeah.
right? That's what this is doing. It's transitioning you from here to there safely.
Right.
To
Because
avoid all obstacles.
otherwise you're diving and driving, you know,
Yeah.
to try and make it happen on
You'd
like
be flying basically a non-precision approach, which is step-down fixes instead of a precision approach.
And is this considered a precision approach?
It is. So it's kind of one of those weird ones where it can stand in for a precision approach, but it's not technically considered a precision approach. The ICAO Annex 10 tells you what exactly is considered, and it's like a precision approach radar, microwave landing system, and ILS. Those are the three.
Right.
And then, so the LPV mimics it, and I've been off by an entire freaking, not just the entire time, a little mad at myself here.
What, the glide slope?
Yeah.
But you stopped when it was dropping, when you stopped it, and I thought that for me, that's impressive, because it's like, at least you didn't go full deflection. You never go full deflection.
Yeah. It always it's the hardest, the last half mile.
Yeah, because it's a lot more precise, right?
A lot more sensitive.
And is that the case even on a LPV type approach?
Typically, pretty close, yeah.
No shit.
So it's still, yeah, we'll go over it later. It's a little bit much to talk about right now, but...
Gotcha. I'm enjoying seeing this.
Yeah, and there goes my glide slope.
But at the same time, you're within 100 feet of minimum, so you could be like, well, lost glide slope, look outside. And plus, you can still descend to it if it was an actual approach, because you just used the step down.
Yep, so there's our 3366. We're allowed to continue, we're allowed to dip below. Now, if you go mist, you want to pull in your power, and you want to slow down to your best climb, well, you want to get up to like 60 knots, which you would normally do.
To get away from...
Exactly, get away from the environment. Revenue Tower Helicopter 219, Lima Echo, going mist.
Okay, I'm not on the code. Thank you. Contact Seattle Center.
Contact Seattle Center, 219 Lima Echo. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Okay, swapping you over.
Thank you.
Looking right at 2183.
Right there, 2183, roger. Looks like the approach profile should keep you above them.
Okay, great.
Anyway, that's
cool.
That's a practice approach. That's how we line it up. That's how we do it.
4579, contact Seattle Center 128.3.
Seattle Center's usually really awesome.
Yeah. Very helpful.
Seattle Center Helicopter 219, Lima Echo, missed out of Redmond, and go ahead and cancel VFR flight following, sir.
Helicopter 219, Lima Echo, roger. Radar service terminates for VFR. Change your advisory frequency script.
Change frequency, squawk and VFR 219 Lima Echo. Thank you for your help today, sir.
There, 2183, contact Revenue Tower, good day.
Top 10, thanks, Seattle Plaza 2183.
We'll just keep it on 124.5 for now, and then we'll hop out.
That's what I was figuring.
That's here at Matera, 2183, 3 miles from Zip is on the RNAV Yankee, runway 5.
Okay.
Right in 2183, Revitar, report Pibney.
Report Pibney, you're at 2183.
Not sure we have enough time to run out and do the off-airport out there, but we could probably head south and do the, whatever. Well, you want to do the Klein Butte one?
Sure. That sounds good. I've not done that in
a while.
Yeah.
And it's a little windier today, so you'll get to play with the winds a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. I'll give it back to you.
All right. I have flight controls.
Your controls.
I have them. And we'll just, you're talking about the ridge line or the one below at the base of the mountain?
Ridgeline.
Okie dokie, man. Throwing it big here.
Yeah.
Go big or go home. It's so nice to be back outside.
Yeah. It makes a difference, doesn't it?
It does. And I definitely remember after I did the, every flight previous, that they'd be like, yeah, look at how smooth you're flying when you come back out of the hood.
Yeah.
You reserve yourself to just holding on to the controls, not over controlling,
Yeah. Yep. Let's go ahead and go down to 4,000. I don't like hanging out high around the chutes because of the fact that that's where a lot of approaches
Gotcha.
hang out at. Or start
us.
Okay. Did you know there's a private airport right by that farm field?
Which one is it?
I don't know.
See it here. Klein Falls Air Park?
Possibly.
I did not. I've only ever known about the one that's over there that,
Yeah, Klein Falls.
oh shit.
If you look, there's the farm fields, and then there's like this weird grass strip.
Oh, how about that? Let's give him a call. Let's get on the cell phone. You got Bluetooth. Call the owner.
Yeah, hey dude.
Hey, can we land there? It's like, yeah, what are you thinking about? It's like, that's us. We can hear ourselves in your cell phone overhead of you.
Yeah.
No shit. How about that?
Yep.
Very cool.
Just keep 4,000, it's fine.
Sounds good. Poor old Redmond Tower. He's like, what is Seattle doing to them? Making them dive to the ground?
Yeah.
God.
We'll stay on Redmond, and then if we want to, well, I guess we don't really have to request a transition through because we can just,
Skirt.
yeah, we're going to be on the backside continually.
Fred 2183, runway 5, clear to land.
Runway 5, clear to land, 2183.
So he's somewhere over there, right?
He's right there
Oh, in sight.
at our 4 o'clock.
Gotcha.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Yeah, so I always think about this spot because there's a lot of things you do right out here. Like if the engine never fails, like that's my money spot. And look, there's a windsock telling you exactly which way the winds are coming from.
I'm going to go ahead and start my PWAP feels here with the wind. So with that, we're basically, I think we're going to be right around the same performance that we took off on. We're a lot lighter, so I don't think we'll come close to it, but it's like 22 for...
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
22 for 24.8. I think we will not have a power problem. Winds out of the northwest, it looks like. We'll see what comes out over there. So I'm kind of on the wrong side. We're probably going to come in from that side. But, oh well, we'll get over there eventually. I'm going to avoid overflying these obviously wealthy people. And I'm going to stop climbing. There we go. I'll never say another off-airport PWAT deal's the same again because of when I did it with Mr. Grubb. I was like, all right, so we're on our way in. Doesn't mean that we can't do our PWAT deals. So power, we've got time to think about power. Let's talk about power. It was like the most cheesy shit ever as we're like heading out to the spot.
What did he say?
He didn't have any he was sitting there just nodding his head the whole time. But
Yeah, I think he really likes practicality.
Yeah.
And with practicality, that means getting as much information as you can prior to getting to your spot, so you're focused on basically your entry and exit, obstructions, and the landing spot.
exactly, being efficient, and not even just to be quicker, but to be able to spend more time on stuff without, wasting time. So
Yeah.
So I'm seeing the spot
2183, turn left when able, contact ground point 8.
coming right off the nose.
Contact ground is 2183.
Okay, so we already talked about power, winds. I'm going to check the GPS while we're doing this. 96 for 76, so yeah, winds are definitely out of the north. Obstacles, we've got a big obstacle right here.
37 Hotel, runway 5. Taxi via Delta.
So as we come in here, I'm going to make sure we don't fly into that hill. And I'm seeing trees down there that we'll take another look at. Turbulence, there's definitely be mountain lee waves, so I'm probably going to come in up the ridgeline to minimize that.
Just stay like right over the top of the ridge here. Don't go too much farther that way.
Gotcha.
For exactly the reason you just explained.
Yeah, I don't want to get stuck in the mountain lee waves.
Okay. You don't want to get a downdraft on the backside.
Gotcha.
Right here, we're still on this side of the demarcation line.
Very good
so
point.
It's not coming back down on the backside yet.
Gotcha.
So remember, a ridgeline approach is different than your typical off-airport.
Right. So forced landing zone is pretty much going to be a good auto to a bad spot, or we're going to our spot if it's a precautionary landing. Entry, I'm definitely thinking down from the south here, or from the west, southwest, and then exit
north route
out to the northeast. And landing zone, I'm picking my spot right now. I'll set up for a low recon and double check that. So I'm going to kind of teardrop a little bit. I'm not going to fly over those guys. Before landing, still looks good.
2183, give way to the King Air.
Downwind ridge run.
Dolphin Foxtrot.
So I'm going to keep a little bit of airspeed as I get on the ridge. and then slowly slow down, because it's probably going to be a pretty heavy tailwind, but I'm doing this on purpose just to feel it.
Unit 1 rep, graph previous city route.
Any issues, we'll bail to the right on this. God, this thing just does not. We're sitting at the bucket, not
Yep.
trying to descend. I'm trying to slow down to get it to descend.
I know, but you feel it slipping?
Yeah.
That you don't want that.
Okay, gotcha.
So imagine or picture, where's the wind coming out of? You said the north, right?
Yeah, northwest.
So one thing I learned recently about this kind of approach, this is a good low recon, but you might even want to get a little lower than this.
yeah,
right?
I couldn't get down quick enough, and I'm doing 70 knots, which is
So think about, do exactly what you're doing, okay? Fly out this way and bring it back around this way.
okay.
The whole time, you're keeping low ground in front of us, right?
Gotcha.
Try not to turn into high ground. That blew my mind the first time I learned it. Was like, oh yeah. So kind of follow this ridge out that way,
Yep.
right? And you can start the slow down process now,
Okay.
and just keep us at like 60, which feels like we're just holding still over the top
Yeah.
of this spot, right?
Okay, 60, gotcha.
And now we're gonna descend down.
Tower Attack 37 Hotel, approach in 5 with departure northeast. Attack 37 Hotel, rope start, runway 5.
Okay, so you're looking at your spot. You know your spot's right there. Just keep just a little left
There we
here.
go. Yeah, I'm trying to get just right over the spot so that we're not hitting any of the demarcations ups or down.
Yeah, you're doing
That
good.
makes sense. I like that a lot better.
And then, so the exact same thing goes for here. Where's the high ground?
We're not turning right, we're turning left.
Absolutely. You already know where the spot is. It's on the ridge.
Yep.
It's not like we're flying way out there and trying to come back to find it, right? So you're keeping your nose into the wind the whole time.
Yep.
You're keeping your low ground below you the whole time.
I like that. That's a good way of thinking about it. So,
Yeah, and I didn't do that. I couldn't wrap my head around the concept. So can I show you what I'm...
yep, you have
what
flight
I've had
controls?
with My controls?
You have them?
Okay, so I'm going to redo what you did.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to bring us back around this way.
Always having the low ground as an out.
Exactly, and the winds. We know the winds are strong enough today, and we know they're out of the north, that it's gonna, that's your big factor, the
Yeah.
wind factor, right?
Yeah.
So, we came in from over here, right? We were a little higher.
did one,
but
thank you.
I'm gonna stay about here, 4,000, or 3,000, I'll go to 4,000.
Okay.
Okay, so what I would do, and what was shown to me, is we know the winds are out. I mean, I can feel the helicopters telling me, dude, the winds are out of that direction.
Yeah.
Right? So, I'm actually gonna try and swing us around kind of how you did it before.
Okay.
So, we're gonna come in this way. You talked to me about all the right things, avoiding the updrafts, avoiding the,
The downdraft, the lee wave.
yep, exactly right. You wanna come right over the top of your spot here. You don't wanna get too far to the south on the backside of the ridge.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And, you know, the only...
So, you can come
thank you.
right down over the top of the ridge here.
as a
right?
high recon.
Yeah.
And then just kind of just keep doing ridge runs as necessary.
Absolutely.
Because
So,
we know we've got the updrafts and downdrafts, and we know we have a way, or we're pretty confident we have a way of getting in without dealing with them.
yeah.
So why even get into them if
Right.
you don't need to?
So here I'm doing my high recon, or you're doing your high recon, right? Looking at our spots to go. There's a couple different spots. There's one that really we always end up at, right?
Which is the grass on this side of the Y.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly right. And you can feel we're getting pushed to the
Yeah.
south hard, right?
Yep.
And so I know the winds are over there. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to stay over the ridge and stay into the wind here. So I'm going to come to the right, keep myself in trim. Trim's really important during these things, right? We're doing 60 on 70 right now.
Yeah.
So winds are out of the north, yeah. I'm going to come back down this way, right? I'm going to start like a slight descent down so I can kind of almost do my,
Low recon path.
yep, kind
Yeah,
of like this.
my big thing is I'm wrapping my head around 40 knots, and I was like, this thing is not one to slow down.
Well, we haven't quite gotten there yet.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm just using this opportunity to lose some altitude.
Yeah.
Right? But I can see my spots over there. I'm still on this side of the ridge. Now there's high ground over there. We don't want to swing out and do a teardrop into the high ground, right?
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with doing a teardrop. So what we can do is we can kind of hug this ridge here, because we know we've got the updraft here, right? So lower power setting you can see, right? And so I'm just going to come around this way, right back to our spot. Stay on the upwind side.
like you did a high, a mid, and a low, but you took the same amount of time as a high down to a low, and it was practical in this thing, so.
Yeah. So I'm staying up here, just like this, right? Still on the upwind side, still looking at my spot here,
Yeah.
and this is giving me a chance to get really low. Some places you'll even have to get like eye level
Yeah.
with your actual spot to look at it, and I'm still going 60 knots. I should be going 40 knots, but never slower.
Yep.
Never slower than 40.
Yep.
Right? And so what this gives us is kind of the chance to, okay, we know the winds are out of the north, right? We're pretty confident the winds are out of the north. So what we can do now is, as we're coming around, we always want to put our nose into the wind if we can help it,
Yeah.
right? So
But in this case, we'd kind of be doing like a full figure 8 to try and
Kind of.
turn into the wind.
sure, but you can turn into the wind initially and almost have no tailwind time. So
Yeah.
if we know the winds are almost exactly out of the north, I'm just going to keep this down, bring us around here. Never lose less than 40,
Yeah.
right? Staying in trim. And now my spot is right off this way, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna keep using the actual ridge here to help me fly at a low power setting,
Yeah.
right? I know the winds are out here. This is the ridiculous commercial
You
stuff
guys
that
fly
guy
up
taught
Graph
me.
TV City
That
route.
was way different than anything I'd ever done, right? And I almost can't even see the spot because of the freaking console.
Yeah.
But then you'd approach in this way,
Yeah.
right? Because the winds are out of the north. We're doing 0 and getting 35 indicated.
Yeah.
Boom, right in, right?
Yeah, and that Austin showed me that too. He's like, if you need to push into the wind, do it. It's lower power setting, lower pedal workload, lower everything as you're on your way in. But it has its side effect of, can you see the spot? Are
Yeah.
you dragging the tail through some trees? You know, so.
The other option you have is to approach with approximately a 45-degree angle here.
To the ridgeline?
Yep.
Gotcha. And I can see that definitely, and it's probably good to practice those, but it's like I haven't done anything quite like that. I've always done either a steep approach into the wind, parallel to the ridgeline usually, or along the ridgeline. It's never been a combination of either, so
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, do you do it steeper than normal? Do you do it shallower than normal? Do you know,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot to think about.
Yeah. So that example being, if we come through
Today's 2 Epigraph receiving north route.
looking at our spot, you can, I mean, yeah, we're doing 55 on 68 right now.
Yeah.
So if you swing it around and approach from approximately 45 degrees off of where the wind is into the ridge line here, right?
Yep.
And this is going to give, well, it's going to give me a lot more visibility, maybe not you. You
Yeah.
had probably more visibility the last way around than I did.
Yeah, that would have worked great for me, but if we were trying to do the opposite direction, then I would have been LSOLO.
Yeah.
Yes,
Here, though,
thank you.
now my approach angle is way different,
Yeah,
right? It's going to be more normal. You can feel we're fighting the winds a little bit here.
yeah,
And just bring it in at about a 45-degree angle to the actual spot here.
and the only thing that makes me not want to do this is like right now we run out of power, what are we doing?
Yeah, we
Whereas
gotta go that way.
on the ridge line, you know, it's like right now, oh, easy, just go to the left.
Bail
we
off.
could probably freaking come
Yeah.
home. Yeah, and this would be a turn downwind into a downdraft.
Yeah, that's bad news blues.
Yeah,
But that's also why I don't like doing steep approaches to a ridge line
yeah.
into the wind like that.
And in all actuality, it seemed like we got into much better conditions as we got closer. And so if you'd have just done a little bit of a shallow, or not a little, you did do it, but it was shallower and quicker. So we had more energy in our back pocket before we, you know,
Yeah.
got into the smoother stuff, you know.
Yeah. All right, I'll give her back to you here.
All right, I have flight controls.
Your controls.
I have flight controls. I'll give that a shot.
I need to send somebody a text. We're gonna be late.
Okay, if you want, we can just head home. We're already late. 3:41. We can head home. I'm not a problem. I have no problem with that.
That's up to you on how you feel a successful off-airport goes.
What do you mean? good. Get this thing ready. 1, 2, 3, nothing. Already in there. How about that? I'm gonna flip up weather.
Yeah, so it's actually nice. It's nice to get to do ridgeline approaches when there's wind.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just like a racetrack, and then you're good. You're good.
Yep. Yep.
But when you have to have the consideration of how am I actually going to get in there,
yeah,
it really helps.
I definitely agree.
I think Austin might be there.
We'll listen to some weather.
Runway 16
Yeah.
is the calm wind runway.
I want to listen to some
Monitor and
NOTAMs.
use Unicom frequency 123.0.
I'm gonna go ahead and put Bend up as well. Since we're pretty clear out of Redmond, I didn't hear anybody coming in.
Municipal Airport. Automated weather observation 224 Zulu.
Bend traffic, Sky 736 Mike Golf, turning left crossing for runway 34 Bend.
12 knots. Visibility more than 10. Sky condition clear below 12,000. Temperature 26 Celsius. Dew point 0 Celsius. Altimeter 2,986 inches of mercury. Remarks density altitude 5700.
Notice to airmen. Runway 16 is right-hand traffic for fixed-wing aircraft. Runway 34 is left-hand traffic for fixed-wing aircraft. Runway 16 is the calm wind runway. Monitor and use Unicom frequency 123.0.
Yeah, it's windy, dude.
It is.
Looking at these people's fences blowing and stuff, they got like a little fabric fence or something like that.
Hurricane Irma.
3 Zulu. Wind 320 at 13.
Traffic, Skyhawk 7 Romeo Lima from leading edge to 34.
Clear below 12,000.
Cool.
What did it say, 320?
Yep, 320. It's gusty. So I figure we'll do a midfield overhead.
I love it.
Traffic, Skyline 256 by Foxtrot, 4 miles east at 5,500, inbound across midfield to join left downwind 34 Bend.
Sounds like they have the same idea.
Yeah.
Funky Brewsters.
Bend traffic, helicopter 219, Lima Echo, approximately 6.5 miles northwest, 4,400 inbound to Bend. Give them a heads up that they're going to have to deal with us at some point.
Yep. I like the communication. It's funny, we don't really think about it as being necessary or as necessary, but we don't understand what they do, they don't understand what we do, so it's
left base for runway 34, touching go Bend.
even if we end up talking to each other like 3-year-olds,
Yeah.
as long as we understand that we don't hate each other.
8 miles to the west, 5,100, transitioning south north, just passing by TOCC campus as we speak. Bend.
Okay, that's awesome communication. So he's somewhere over there.
Yeah, he's on the backside of Aubrey, right?
I believe so, yep. So I'll say we're crossing, is this 26 or is this 97?
97.
Alright, we'll call crossing 97.
Bend traffic, Sky 733 Mike Golf, turning final for runway 34, touching go Bend.
Bend traffic, helicopter 219 or Lima Echo is approximately 4.5 miles northwest, crossing Highway 97 at the time. I've sent it down to 4,000, be crossing midfield. Kind of got myself a little confused there at the very end. I was like, crossing midfield, I'm going to shut up now.
Yeah. That's our plan anyway, in about 5 minutes.
Yeah. I don't know, we're scooting along, man. I got ground speed at like 115.
Yeah.
This is great.
We're gonna get there.
We're going to make it. We're going to make it.
We're already past the... We'll make our time.
Yeah.
It's just like it's...
The courtesy time, we won't make it.
Exactly right. It's good to be like... I'm gonna be like right at 2 or 4, not 20 minutes prior.
Yep.
The traffic, Skyline 65 Foxtrot, Carson midfield at 5,500,
So
drop it in, join left downwind 34 Bend.
That's what happens when you get all excited about flying.
Yeah.
It's easy to lose track of time.
Yep. Okay, so I'm looking for him, and I'm coming down to 4,000.
Yeah, I don't see him.
You conflict. He's up there in the nosebleeds, I'm sure. And then we'll just pick up a right downwind to 3-4, and then we'll sidestep to Alpha.
Yep. Which is dumb, but we'll do it. There he is. I think is that the guy that's just over flying midfield to the left
Inside?
downwind?
I think that's him.
Cool.
Okay, looking for Butler Market. We which is that one with the power lines on it, right?
Yeah, it's roughly midfield, wherever you see an road running right to left.
Gotcha.
Where are those?
There's those towers right there.
Good eyes. Yep, that was my...
That was when I went to turn this way to come back over.
Traffic Sky 733 Mike Golf, calling around to re-enter pattern.
Alright, you got a guy upwind right now. You're good to turn,
Gotcha.
but he's just getting upwind.
Searching. I'm going to make a call real quick.
Cool.
Ben traffic helicopter 219 Lima Echo is approximately 2 miles to the west to be crossing midfield at 4,000. Trying to correct that.
Yep, smooth with everything.
There we go.
She'll come back for you.
And traffic Skyline 256 Foxtrot, turning left base 34 Ben.
I hate it when other people's warning horns make me nervous.
Okay, searching for the upwind traffic. Got him. And I got him on base.
Cool.
And midfield looks clear. Don't slow down.
Yep, just
Gotcha.
because we're doing like 100 right now, so we're going to be like...
Yeah, that's a good point. I keep forgetting.
Traffic Sky 733 Mike Golf, turning left crosswind for runway 34 Ben.
The traffic helicopter 219 Lima Echo crossing midfield from west to east at 4,000.
And traffic Skyline 65 Foxtrot,
Bring it back.
final 34 touch to go Ben.
Gotcha. We're trying to get these horses under control.
I know. It's like the Budweiser horses.
Got one aircraft in the run-up area. Go ahead and right downwind. Traffic helicopter 219 Lima Echo, turn right downwind for runway 34 Ben.
Alright, turn into a tailwind.
Yep. So keep the power in. We're looking for a decrease in our current speed.
Yep.
Trying not to blow through my course here. Good God.
Alright.
Starting my descent. Actually a little bit low.
And traffic Sky 733 Mike Golf on downwind for runway 34 Ben.
Got him on final. We'll follow in behind him. Okay, before landing all complete, everything looks good. They are passing a VMUS, turning base. Ben traffic, helicopter 219 Lima Echo, turning right base 34 Ben. Keep the descent going. We'll basically just go over the numbers and then shoot for the bend sign. You want to do that? Since we got someone in the run-up, or sidestep early. Ben traffic, helicopter 219 Lima Echo, starting final, runway 34 Ben. Okay, start worrying about getting that airspeed bled off. And actually, once we get beyond him, we'll just sidestep over to Alpha to get out of the way.
Alright.
And then we can do a much more normal
And
approach.
traffic Skyline 65 Foxtrot on the go 34 Ben.
Ben traffic, helicopter 219 Lima Echo, side 7 Alpha, taxiway parallel 34, be landing direct bend side. So this is the moment of truth, whether I'm going to get this thing down or not.
It is. I'm not going to help at all, but you got it.
I feel like that prior planning on dumping energy on these things is so important.
Yeah. No one ever told me about that. I had to figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
And so I sucked at flying 44. I could fly 44s once I got them in the air, but my approaches...
Turning left
Yeah.
base for runway 34 touch to go
My
Ben.
approaches were a nightmare. I still have like the aftermath of being afraid of it.
Yeah. Tail right, nose left. We'll just hover taxi this way and park in
Traffic
the front
Skyhawk 7
spot.
Romeo Lima taking 34 for closed traffic. Then traffic Skyline 65
Yeah, you're not
Foxtrot left
joking.
cross 134 Ben.
I can definitely
Then
feel
traffic
it's like
Skyhawk 733 Mike Golf on base
Oh,
to
yeah.
final for runway 34 touching go
first pad or second pad.
Let's do the second one. The
Okay.
first one's the maintenance pad.
Gotcha. Just didn't know if they wanted to.
Then
We
traffic
could be nice to
5352 Alpha Lima 16 to the northwest landing Ben.
She does not like it.
Nope.
Not even a little bit.
Then once you get in the wind, it's like bam.
Yeah, loves it. Okay, right about here, coming straight down.
I'm gonna start rolling the throttle down on you. There you go.
You know, it's sad. I actually read like a bunch of stuff on the internet about how to land a 44.
Then traffic Skyline 65
Yeah.
Foxtrot
60 to
left down
70,
134
right?
Ben.
Yep, 60,
That's the only
70.
difference. Okay. And I feel like I did terrible. After all that work we put in.
Why? It was windy, dude. Look at the windsocks. And we knew we had like a 15-20 knot tailwind coming in here.
Yeah, that's true.
You did great. Most people, when they get that first crosswind, they get into this crazy oscillation. Really bad, actually.
Yeah.
You didn't. So I was ready for it, but you didn't do it. So.
I thought that... did we tap the left skid? Right before, not before, like when I did do that hesitation, and then you're like, I'm gonna roll it down. Did we tap the left skid? Because I felt it. Felt like I felt it, and I was like, oh.
7 Romeo Lima.
That's what started it.
Crosswind 3-4.
That's what started me doing that whole process of
The bouncing?
of just holding. Was because I thought we tapped the left skid, so I wanted to get up and stabilize again, but we hadn't actually touched the left skid, so now we're in a whole new like galaxy.
Yeah.
Of what's going on, what my situational awareness is, and then I knew that you were gonna yip about me, roll the, put it down, man, put it down. So I was like, gotta keep going, and then a little stressed, so I was like, oh, just. It's like, and you can see we're like 5 degrees off on heading. We're way in the front of the box. Like, nobody can get out. That taxiway is closed. I feel like my first instructor would look very poorly upon me right now. Because he was that guy that he'd land and he'd be off like this much. And at 100%, he'd put pedal in and just gently lift the collective and it'd be like, to right, perfect. So...
Well, in the world of flying, there's standards, and you're going to develop your own standards for yourself. But there's also a time and place.
Yeah, and you're absolutely correct. Like, I didn't even think about, hey, it was fucking windy. And it was, and that's where, in that circumstance, the decision to accept a slight nose variation and maybe a firmer landing maybe was the right one.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely correct on that.
I'm all about holding a high standard, but at the same time, be pretty realistic. If you feel like it was a good landing for the conditions, then it was.
And it's not like I freaking have 5,000 hours here, and it's like
exactly
you did it. You had a terrible landing. It was windy, but I mean, come on, 5,000 hours. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Like right at an hour and a half or so. And 354, so we're not the worst people in the world.
Well, there's no one behind us, so it doesn't really matter. I just don't want to go past the time we put on the board, because if you go like 15 minutes past, they start calling you. You go 30 minutes past, they start thinking about activating the process. And so that was the main reason for the text, was like, hey, we're still alive, we're fine, we're just going to be back, I don't know, 10 minutes late.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that board is flight following for safety. It's not just like, hey, I wonder what everybody's doing today. Let's go take a look at the board, Walk in, it's like, am I going to see James when I go around the corner? No. He's out in this chopper. Are we getting off on time today? Yeah. Maybe.
Yep.
But this is irritating me so much.
Don't let it.
It's
a lot of them do that.
I was very well known as the guy that would fix that when I was in the military, because we were allowed to. As mechanics, we could just go change it.
Nice.
And had my lucky little engraved copper or brass screwdriver for specifically that. So